All right, everyone, here we go. What I wanted to just invite us to think about a little bit before we start movement is that we're entering kind of the Kapha season, if you are familiar with Ayurvedic medicine. And the Kapha energy, the Kapha dosha is quite heavy and dense and dark. And it's a great place for us to practice stability and cohesion, but there can be too much, as those of you in Bellingham know right now, with water. Too much water, not a good thing. And so we're going to do sort of a balancing of earth and water energy to begin practice today. And just in general, when we move into the winter time, our practices it's really good for us to sort of back off a little bit in our exercise and not have it quite be so intense. So we'll match the Kapha energy first by starting on our backs. And then we'll do a little core for some structural integrity. Just remember that we're never in a hurry, never in a hurry. And then we'll increase the intensity as we move through the practice. And I'm going to end us with a meditation, Shavasana meditation, where we'll bring in some fire and air energy elements. And at the end of practice, I'll ring the bell to bring us out of Shavasana. Great. So beginning on your back. And really drop your weight into the earth. Really feel the hug of gravity. We say we allow gravity to do its good work here. So my teacher talks about emptying before we fill. We're always filling and filling and filling. So let's empty here before we fill. Can you sense your whole body just spreading out on your mat, maybe even beyond the edges of your mat? Bones are heavy. Bones are heavy. Feel the weight of your body on earth. And notice your breath. Allow a long, deep inhale and a long, slow exhale. What is the primary feeling tone of you right now? Is there any heaviness or lethargy, maybe tired feeling, which would be normal for sort of Kapha time? How do you feel about movement right now? Take 5 or 6 more rounds of breath here. And then if your legs are not already extended long, go ahead and extend your legs long if that feels okay for you. Arms to the side of your body and feet a little wider than hip distance apart. And begin to circle your feet away from one another. So making circles with your feet, feeling into your ankle spaces. And then opposite direction. And coming back to neutral position. Now on your inhale, point your toes, and on your exhale, flex your ankles. And just go back and forth that way a few times. And go slow enough that you can feel into your calves, your Achilles tendon, lower legs, ankle. And then resting in Tadasana with the toes slightly pulled back towards your shins. Just begin to let your knees sort of pulse up and down, a little bit of just bouncing in through your knees. So both legs at the same time, a little bend, and then drop, 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 drop. Just feel the heaviness against the earth of your legs. And stop. Let's bend the right knee. Take the sole of your right foot to the floor. Arms alongside your body in the goalpost position. And on your inhale, draw your right knee across your midline and reach your right arm long behind you. Pinky pointed up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, return to the starting position. Inhale, sweep or draw the right knee across midline and reach your right arm long. So you feel an opening through right side body. Your right hip will pick up off the floor. So there'll be a little arch in your back. And just move back and forth this way. This is the little vinyasa. A few more times. We're taking this time to scan, see how we feel in our bodies this morning. And then switch other side, left foot on the floor, left knee bent. Inhale, draw your left knee across midline, reach your left arm behind you, sliding your left hand along the floor, and pinky points up towards the ceiling. A couple more times on this side. And coming back to neutral. Now bend both knees, take the soles of both feet to the floor. You could just rest your hands on your hip pointers here, the front of the pelvis. Do a few pelvic tilts. So on the inhale, draw your pubic bone away from your navel. And on the exhale, draw pubic bone back towards navel and press low back into the floor. Just a few pelvic tilts. With each exhale, can you upstroke your navel? So really tuck the navel up and in. Feel engagement in your core. And now rest that movement and interlace your hands right above your heart space. Inhale, just press your hands up towards the ceiling so you feel broadening across your back. And then exhale, just bring your hands back down, resting them right on your chest. Inhale, press up. And exhale, release down. Just feel for the broadening across your back on the inhale. How is this space in your body this morning? Right, the next time you reach your arms up towards the ceiling, let your arms come behind your head so they're resting on the floor behind you. On your exhale, bring your right knee into your chest and hook your hands on your knee, squeezing your knee into your chest. Inhale, right foot comes back to the floor, arms behind your head. Exhale, left knee into your chest, hook your left knee, squeeze in. Inhale, arms behind you, feet back to the floor, and just continue that little pattern. Feeling into the front hip, the front of the hip flexor. Movement in your shoulders. And just move at a speed that's skillful for you. Let the breath contain the movement. Do one more round on each side. And then just bring your arms alongside your body, lift your feet off the floor so your knees are bent and at a 45-degree angle. Now, inhale, both arms behind your head. The backs of your hands will touch the floor. And on your exhale, reach your right leg up towards the ceiling, lift head and shoulders, and just take your hands on either side of your right knee. Release back down. Hands come behind your head, backs of the hands on the floor. Exhale, lift left leg towards the ceiling, reach up, and hands on either side of your left knee. And just move back and forth in that way a few times. So each time you come back to the feet suspended above the ground and legs about 45 degrees. Feel the engagement in your core, upstroking the navel slightly. So like an artist paint brush, just really tuck the navel up and in. Again, you can move at a speed that feels skillful for you. You might do 6 of these, you might do 60. Keep your chin tucked in so that the back of your neck stays long. We'll meet after your next set. We'll meet back where we started. Feet off the floor, knees bent, and arms alongside the body. On your next inhale, sweep your right arm behind you, back of your hand touches the floor, and extend your left leg long, hovering your left leg just off the floor. And then exhale, bring everything back to the starting position. Inhale, reach the left arm behind you, right leg long, hovers just above the floor. And return to starting position. So go back and forth, opposite arm, opposite leg. Arm rests on the floor, leg hovers above the floor. Use the breath to contain the movement. Breath lasts a little bit longer than the movement. And do one more on each side. And we'll meet with the soles of the feet on the floor, knees bent, position of comfort. Arms are alongside your body, palms down. So slightly draw the pubic bone away from the navel. So a little bit of anterior tilt in the pelvis. Press into your feet, lift your hips and sweep your arms behind you. Backs of your hands touching the floor. Leave your arms here as you roll down one vertebra at a time, feeling for length through the spinal column. And then once your hips touch, just sweep your arms back to the starting position. Inhale, press into the feet, lift the hips, arms come behind. Keep the arms where they are as you roll down one vertebra at a time. And then sweeping arms back to starting position. So cascading bridge. How does the spine feel this morning? Really working here with the Kapha energy. So a slow beginning as we build intensity. And again, go at a pace that feels right for you, containing movement in the breath. Keep the chin tucked in, back of the neck long. And if something else is calling you as we do this, if you'd like to stay in a strong bridge, you can certainly do that as well. Next time you land back in the starting position, pull your knees into your chest, cross at your ankles. Just give yourself a little rock back and forth, Upanasana. And then release the ankles, hands on knees. Take some big circles with your knees out and in. Inhale, here, come back to center. Inhale, reach the legs up, arms behind you. So legs reaching towards the ceiling, 90 degrees. Exhale, bring your knees in, take your knees with your hands and pull everything in tight. So you're like in a little ball. And then inhale, legs go up, arms go back. Exhale, pull everything in. Keep your chin tucked, back of your neck long, and feel for making space between hips and low ribs. The next time your legs are extended and your feet are pressing up towards the ceiling, release your hands back down alongside your waist, and then slowly, either one leg at a time or both legs, lower your legs down to the floor. Take your time, draw the navel up and in, really engaging core as you do this work. Great. Now from here, toes are pulled back towards shins. On your next inhale, press your right heel away. And on the exhale, release. Let the release really be delicious. Just really let everything go. Inhale, press your left heel away. And then on the exhale, release. So you might want to put your hands on your hip pointers just to feel this movement in your pelvis. So the inhale, you press the right heel away. Toes are pulled back towards shins. And on the exhale, release. Go back and forth a few times. And we call this the up slip, down slip. So as I press through one heel, that side of my pelvis is going to move towards my feet and the other side of my pelvis is going to move up towards my low ribs. Great. And after the next round, even round, pause there. We're going to roll to one side now. And you can either rest your head on your kickstand arm or on your outstretched arm, bending your knees, stack your knees, and have your knees, instead of your knees coming out from your waist, like perpendicular, have a little bit more open angle there. Stack your feet. Stack your feet. Good. So we're going to lift the top leg and then set the leg back towards the bottom leg, but not let it quite touch. So clamshells, I call these clamshells. So really working into the outer hip. So pressing top leg up and just, again, a speed that feels supportive for you, working the outer hip. And after 8 to 12 repetitions, the next time you lift the top leg, you'll keep the leg there. Feet are touching. Inside edges of the feet stay touching. And you want this hip to sort of fatigue here. So we'll hold it for maybe a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Notice if it's starting to quiver, that's a good thing. Where was I? Oh yeah, 3, 2, 1. Now top hand takes top foot in half bow. Right, open the front quad, top leg, front of the leg. Good. And from here, we're going to roll onto our belly and slide that right leg out. Roll onto the belly, slide the right leg out, or whatever leg you had bent. So I'm on my belly in a half frog. You can rest your forehead on a little hand pillow with 2 hands. Just rest there. So you should feel a nice opening in the inner groin. And then from here, press yourself up, take whatever leg you have bent, take the same hand and press into the floor. Opposite arm stays sort of perpendicular to your torso and just open into a little twist this way. Beautiful. And then slide back onto your back. And we'll take the other side. So roll to the other side. Again, stacking the knees, not quite perpendicular out from your torso, a little bit more open angle. Get a sense of lining up the back of your sacrum to the back of your skull. And then we'll do the clamshells. And maybe you have the ability to open a little wider on one side than the other. Just be curious here. No judgment about any of that. Again, after 8 to 12 repetitions, we'll hold the top leg open while the feet touch. So we're going for a quiver, a shaking in the hip flexor here, doing a little holding work. Good thing. And then we'll take the top leg with the top hand in a half bow. Just 2 more breaths here. And then as you roll onto your belly, let that leg slide out Opposite leg is long, but the one you had in half bow is bent, and you're resting your hand, your forehead on a little hand pillow. So sort of a half frog pose here. And then from here, slide both legs long, bring elbows underneath shoulders, and come into Sphinx. Draw your navel up and in, press pubic bone into the floor, thighs engaged, tops of the feet into the floor. And just a little sweep of the chin left and right. And then you can lower to the floor and bring your hands alongside your body. Let's take the palms down, forehead to the floor. Press your hands into the floor and lift your shoulder tops away from the floor. Lift your right leg and set your right leg back down. Lift your left leg and set your left leg back down. Keep pressing your palms into the floor. Lift both legs and set your legs back down. And now lift your shoulder tops away from the floor. Lift your hands like you're taking flight. Lift your head and shoulders. Lift your legs. Squeeze your legs together, touching all the way to big toes, maybe ankles. And then release. Let everything relax. Turn one cheek to the floor of the mat. You could softly move your hips back and forth. Turn opposite cheek or temple to the mat. And then come back to center. Tops of the hands to the floor. Press into the floor. Lift shoulder tops away from the floor. Then lift hands. So hands are higher than shoulders. Lift head and shoulders. Keep pressing your pubic bone into the floor. Upstroke the navel. Lift the legs. And squeeze the legs together. For 3, 2, 1. Bend your elbows and take your hands right to the lower ribs. Press up. Table. From this position in table, just reach your hips back towards your heels and wag your tail right and left. And then from here, circle forward. So shoulders come over wrists and around. So circling in one direction. Little snap, crackle, pop in my body. And then release and go in the opposite direction. And come back to neutral. Inhale to cow, drawing your heart forward, tail feathers spread. And just mind that you don't bring the head up too far, that you keep the back of your neck long. And then on your exhale, round, press into your hands and come into cat. Few cat-cows on your own. And then set your knees a little closer together. On your next exhale, draw your right knee into your chest. Inhale, extend your right leg long. Exhale, Round and bring your right knee into your chest. Inhale, extend the right leg long. You could add the left arm as well if you want to. Either is fine. But on your next exhale, as you round and bring your knee into your chest, add a humming sound, just as loud or soft as you wish. Next inhale, wait for us there. And then sweep the right leg out to the right, sole of the foot to the floor. Slide your hips back towards your heels. Each exhale, you can add that little hum. Inhale to come back up, and now lift the right leg, take it to the left side of your body, turn your toes under, press through your heel, and take your gaze either under your left armpit or over your left shoulder. Feel a stretch in your calf, your Achilles tendon. And then right knee back under right hip. Take a couple of cat-cows to neutralize your spine. On your next exhale, draw your left knee into your chest. You could add the right arm if you want, so right elbow in. And then inhale, extend the left leg long. You could add the right arm if you want. And with each exhale, add that humming sound. Next time your left leg is extended out behind you, reach your left leg out to the left, sole of the foot to the floor, and draw your hips back towards your right heel. Take a couple rounds of breath here on each exhale. Allow for the little humming reverberation in your body. And inhale back up. Left leg reaches up, out, and over to the right side. Turn your toes under, pressing through your left heel and gazing either over your right shoulder or under your right armpit. Feel some opening in your left calf, Achilles tendon. And then place your left knee underneath your left hip, a couple of rounds of cat-cow to neutralize your pelvis. Next time you come through cow, wait there. Feel that nice anterior tilt of the pelvis. Now turn your toes under, and on your exhale, press hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, drop to your knees, come to cow. Exhale, sit back, child's pose. Inhale, come back to cow. Exhale, turn toes under, press hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale to your knees in cow. And exhale, hips back, child's pose. And that's the vinyasa. Each inhale will bring us back to cow. Each exhale, downward dog or child's pose. Add the humming on your exhale. Go at your own pace. The next time you're in the child's pose, stay here, turn your palms up, turn the palms up. Do the best you can here. Maybe you can get your forehead onto the floor. And really feel for your back body, just really opening, spreading, hips relaxing into your heels. And then turn the palms back down, walking both hands over to the right. Feel an opening on the left side waist. Come through center and take your hands over to the left. And hands back to center. And now inhale yourself up to cow again. Exhale, turn toes under, press up and back, downward facing dog. Let's lift the heels here on this downward dog and walk your feet a little closer. So you're in a shorter downward dog stance. Now reach heels towards floor, bend through your knees generously. Bring your right hand to the outside of your left leg and extend the left leg, getting a little twist in this dog. And release the right hand back to the floor. Bend through your knees generously. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right leg and then re-straighten the legs, getting a little twist in this direction. And release. Walk your feet towards your hands. Fold in the knees if need be, resting your, I like to have connection to the floor, so a block or your hands to the floor. You can let your head go. And then a deep bend in your knees, hands to knees, press yourself up. Come into Tadasana, just have to change my angle. Somewhere about in the middle of your mat, come into Tadasana. And you could have your blocks handy. I'm going to have 2 blocks at the front of my mat. In your Tadasana, have the palms forward. Palms forward. Line up hips over ankles, shoulders over hips, and draw your earlobes back over your shoulders. Great. From here, we'll step the right foot forward and the left foot back. Come into warrior 1 stance with your feet. So back foot, toes, I like the toes pointed out. Let's go hands to hips to begin with. And we'll just drop, bend through the front knee as I press into the back heel and then extend back up. Just feeling into that front leg. And then you can release your hands. And on the next time you bend through the front leg, sweep the arms up. Draw the tailbone down. Press your front leg straight and release your arms to your side. Inhale, bend through the front leg, sweep arms up. Move over 1, Exhale, press hands down slowly like you're going through water and straighten the front leg. Inhale, sweep arms up, bend through the front leg. And this time we're going to interlace hands behind our back as we exhale, straighten through the front leg and just fold. And just enough that you feel the work there in your core. Inhale, bend through the front leg, sweep arms up. Exhale, hands behind, interlace behind your waist and fold forward. Inhale, back Vera 1. And now we'll kind of scoot forward. We're moving into Vera 3. So lots of choices here. As I pitch myself forward, I could take hands to blocks. Really working on leveling my pelvis. You could take hands to heart center or hands straight out in front, in your choice. Moving from warrior 3, we'll just take the back leg to meet the front leg, bending through our knees and pressing up. Take your blocks with you. We'll switch to the other side. And so now left foot forward, right foot back, right heel in, right toes out, moving back and forth just with the legs to begin with. So really stepping in the back heel as you bend through the front knee. So that's the action of the legs in Vera 1. And then the next time you next time you bend the front knee, inhale, sweep the arms up, come into what we traditionally know as Vera 1. Exhale, straighten the front leg and sweep arms down. And then move through that way a couple of times. I'm going to see if I can fix my camera. So moving through Vera 1, slow movement with the arms. Like you're moving through water. And then the next time you land in Vera 1 with the arms extended up, front leg bent, we're going to move into warrior 3. So you might have to, in my case, I have to adjust my space a little bit. Again, you could take both hands to a set of blocks, pressing into the front leg and lifting the back leg. And here I'm more interested in not working on my balance and working on the position of my pelvis. Hands could be at heart center as well, or extended out in front of you. Do keep the back of your neck long. Right. Really feel the work in the outer hip of the standing leg. Got it nice and warmed up with the clamshells. And from here, we'll bend through the front leg, standing leg, bring the opposite leg to meet. You can take a deep bend in the knees, roll up a vertebra by vertebra if that's what you like, or press into your legs and stand up. Great. And now if you have your 2 blocks, I'm going to take the blocks and set them to the long side of my mat on either side, and we'll take a wide stance. Turn the right foot out, lining up the right foot with the outer edge, the long edge of your mat, and turn your left heel out. And again, we'll just work with the legs first. So as you press into the back heel, bend through the front leg. And then straighten. So we're just moving back and forth, But notice as you bend through the front knee, if you lose contact with the back heel, really keep the back heel tacked down. And then we'll go down into the front knee, front hand resting on the front knee. And as we straighten legs, we'll sweep the top arm, the front arm back over bicep by ear, and then back. That's the exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Again, contain, the movement is contained in the breath. So you could actually, this could be your exhale. And this could be your inhale up and over, or it could go the opposite direction, doesn't matter. But contain the movement in the breath. Next time you come forward, resting your hand on your thigh, bring your forearm to your thigh. Drop your shoulder away from your ear, spin your belly towards the camera. Inhale, reach the top arm up and over, extended side angle. Bicep by ear. Next inhale, just take a gaze at your bicep. And on the exhale, gaze down at your foot. So this is a surprisingly little balance challenge. So take your time. Inhale, gaze at the bicep, upper bicep. Exhale, turn, gazing at the bottom foot, the front foot. A few times. The next time your vision, your gaze is down at your front foot, take your top arm back to your hip. Just straighten through the front leg until your forearm is released. You'll take the block to the outside of your lower leg. If you don't have a block or you practice a little different style, you can bring your hand to your shin. We're going to Trikonasana, so front leg straight. Notice whether you lost contact with the back heel. Really tack the back heel down, press through the big toe mound in the front foot. Peel your belly towards me, spin your belly towards me, and stack your arms. Trikonasana. Keep the back of your neck long. Yes. If you wanted to add something for your core, you could bring your arms out in front of your front body space. Otherwise, we'll bend through the front knee, sweep top arm up, turn both feet to face parallel to one another, and we'll take the other side. So left foot forward, right heel out. And again, just starting with the warrior two legs, bending and extending through. As we bend through the front knee, we're pressing into the back heel. And then the next time your front knee is bent, you could reach that arm forward, straightening both legs, sweep the front arm back, bicep by ear. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, an exalted warrior, moving back and forth, this little vinyasa. Good. The next time you come forward, left forearm to the left knee, dropping the shoulder out of the ear, and then inhale, sweep top arm up and over. Bicep by ear, get established first. Notice if you lost contact with the back heel. Then inhale, just turn your gaze towards your top bicep. Exhale, down towards your front foot. Inhale, gaze towards top bicep. Exhale, down towards your front foot. Beautiful. Let it be a prayerful experience. Let it really unfold you. Next time you look down at your foot, bring your top hand to your hip and simply straighten your front leg until that forearm can be released. Bringing block to outside of your front leg, not really ankle, more the leg, or hand to the front of your shin or the inside of your ankle, whatever your Trikonasana practice is. Now, contact with the back heel and press into the big toe mound. Spin your belly. Spin your belly. Stack your shoulders. Keep the back of your neck long. And if you feel like you really need a little more energizing, you could look up towards your hand. I like to just look forward. Better for my neck. Your practice, your choice. Feel as if you could stay here for 12 months. And bend through the front knee, take top hand to hip, sweep yourself up, turn both feet to face parallel to one another and parallel to the short edges of your mat, and then heel toe in slightly, toes out, and we'll come into a little bit of a horse stance. And just move your hips back and forth a little bit here. A little organic movement, maybe even the pelvis around in a circle. And then hands to the mat or a block. Inhale, extend your legs straight and fold. Or that could be the exhale too. And then next breath cycle, half a breath cycle, inhale or exhale, drop your knees and bring your back flat and gaze forward. Let's go exhale here, straighten the legs and fold. Makes a little more sense. Inhale, drop your hips back nice and flat and looking forward. And moving back and forth in this way a few times. And then next time you're folded over, hips lined up, you can even turn the feet a little bit, open up, but hips lined up with heels. Right here would be a good time if you wanted to go into a headstand. If that is something you practice regularly, you could go into a headstand right here, or you could just rest your head on a block, on the floor. Inversion. If you have your head on a block, just move the block aside and hands to the floor, heel toe in slightly wider than hip distance and drop into a squat. Feet can be, heels can be in, toes can be out, pressing legs into elbows, elbows into the knees. Go for length through your spine to reach the crown of your head up and tailbone down. And then from here, we'll just come right to our hips, sitting on the floor. And a hip balance of your choice could be just be a half boat, full boat, just coming down to your hips, finding balance here on your seat. And then from here, drop the feet into Baddha Konasana. You can take a block on either side, either knee if you need, resting your legs. So it's not a lot of effort, just more of an opening. Nice tall spine. Okay, then keep the left foot in and extend the right leg long. So sort of like a Janu Shirshasana shape, but bend the right knee pretty generously. Slide your right hand down towards your right ankle and open up, left arm up and over. Come back to center, switch. Right leg in, left leg long, generous bend in the knee, and up and over in this direction. Inhale to come back up, and then make your way back to your back. Now here, a couple of choices. You come right to Shavasana, or you could take a twist of your choice. Maybe a strong bridge, anything else you need, but come back to this real sense of just being held by the earth as you come back down towards the end of practice. Maybe it might feel nice to go through some of those really subtle movements we did at the beginning. So you could take traditional Shavasana with the legs long, or if you want to bend your knees, have your knees resting together. If you have wall space handy, you could do legs up the wall. But let everything go now. Nothing else to do here. Sort of an undoing. More than a doing. And if it's comfortable, close your eyes down. Let your bones be heavy. And imagine just a space where the colors are warm. Maybe you're in the desert. There's orange and red colors all around you. Or just somewhere where the sun is bright. A little breeze just kissing your skin. You're relaxed. Things are easy. And all your senses are engaged in this world of orange and yellow and red. Warmth, light breeze on the skin. Relax your eyes so that you're not pursing in any place in your eyes. Soften your hands. Soften your hands. Ah, how is it now? Of course, you can stay in Shavasana if you like, or on different spaces. If you'd like to join me in your seat, take your time. I'll meet you there. And bringing hands in front of heart center, let's just close our practice with one Om together. So we'll inhale, open mouth, exhale. Om. Namaste, friends. Thank you for joining today.